Yeah, they don't need to be accessed.
Good evening. I'll call this meeting of the Cartersville City Council to order. If you'll please stand for our invocation and pledge.
Please bow your heads. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever and ever. Amen.
Amen.
Let's stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please.
Carrie Hodge, Ward 1. Jay Stepp, Ward 2.
Here.
Carrie Rock, Ward 3.
Here.
Calvin Cooley, Ward 4.
Here.
Gary Fox, Ward 5.
Here.
And Taft Wren, Ward 6.
Here.
Thank you, Samantha. Our first order of business is the approval of council meeting minutes from our May 2nd meeting. And council, you've had these well in advance of tonight, had an opportunity to look them over. Now would be the chance to make any edits or corrections. And if there are none, a motion would be in order.
Make a motion to approve the minutes.
Second.
All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. We have a couple of proclamations tonight. 175 years is a long time, and I guess if you're in Japan or any certain areas of the world, it doesn't really seem like that long. But here, that's an awful lot of time for a church to be in existence. Kyle Harshey and Chris Maccabee are here with Church of the Ascension, the Episcopal Diocese here in Cartersville, and they're getting close to celebrating 175 years, and so we've got a proclamation that I'd like to read. It says, whereas November 6, 1844, the Episcopal Diocese of Georgia chartered an Episcopal mission on the banks of the Etowah River west of Cartersville. The Episcopal Church of the Ascension was consecrated in our community on June 22nd of 1845 by the Right Reverend Stephen Elliott, First Bishop of Georgia. Whereas the Episcopal Church of the Ascension has faithfully served the citizens of Cartersville for 175 years by honoring the past, celebrating the present, and serving its community with love. And whereas the Very Reverend Mary Erickson Vestry and members of the Episcopal Church of the Ascension proclaimed 2019 and 2020 a period of honoring and celebrating the 175th anniversary of its founding. And whereas the campus of the Episcopal Church of the Ascension is, which is known in our community as the Church with the Red Doors, in a historical community, as a historic community treasure. In addition to its historical significance, the Episcopal Church of the Ascension is the heart of many community outreach programs and support groups, whereas it's important to celebrate the city's faith-based communities and the Episcopal Church of the Ascension, their place in our community. Now, therefore, I, Matthew J. Santini, Mayor of the City of Cartersville, do hereby proclaim Ascension Day, Thursday, May 30th, 2019, AD, in celebration and in honor of the Episcopal Church of the Ascension, and call upon the people of Cartersville to join in recognizing and participating in this special observance. And Kyle and Chris, who I won't mention since you told me not to, we can present it. We also have an opportunity to celebrate National Historic Preservation Month. Greg Frisbee, who chairs our Historic Preservation Commission, is here, and Greg has been an active member on that board and several others for many years, and we appreciate your being here and the work that your board continues to do to help us find that balance between what's right and what preserves our history. So thank you for being here. I have a proclamation for you as well. And it says historic preservation is relevant in urban, suburban, and rural communities throughout the nation, providing benefits to Americans of all ages from all walks of life and backgrounds. Whereas historic preservation is an effective tool for economic development, heritage tourism, neighborhood revitalization, fostering local pride, and maintaining overall community character while enhancing livability. Whereas the city of Cartersville is rich in historic resources, including properties in the downtown business district, Cherokee-Cassville Historic District, Granger Hill Historic District, Old Town Historic District, and the West End Historic District. And it's important to celebrate the role of history in our lives and the contributions made by dedicated individuals preserving the tangible aspects of the past that have and continue to define our city. Whereas the National Historic Preservation Month provides the opportunity to recognize and celebrate the contributions our citizens make to historic preservation and to preserving the city's history for future generations. Now therefore, I, Matthew J. Santini, Mayor of the City of Cartersville, do hereby proclaim May 2019 as National Historic Preservation Month and call upon the people of Cartersville to join their fellow citizens across the United States in recognizing and participating in this observance.
Just quickly thank the council for their support, and we continue to have great success with the downtown area. A lot of infill development, a lot of renovation going on. We just about have cases every month. You know, we're just a board that meets on call, but we're just about every month having a few cases. Everything runs smoothly. Everybody seems to go away pleased. So again, we just continue to appreciate your support. And I'd love to be able to get with Councilman Cooley one day. We'll talk about the Summer Hill District.
Soon.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Greg. All right, Mr. Sanders, you're up.
Thank you, Mayor, Council. This is the second reading of the solid waste ordinance revision. There's been no changes since the first reading. In short, this revision cleans up some language to reflect our current practices, as well as a collection base rate increase of $1.50.
Okay. Any discussion on this item? If there's none, a motion's in order.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously.
Thank
Thank you. Mr. Menino, if you'll get us started on file case AZ 1902.
Thank you, Mayor. Council, this, as you had noted, is AZ, which is annexation and a zoning request. This property is located at 232 U Harley Road. It's approximately 9.7 acres. The applicant is requesting to bring it in at the R20 zoning category. It was properly posted and advertised. There appears to be no conflicts of interest. And with that, the Planning Commission held a public hearing on it. And based on some information on the adjacent property that went through Planning Commission in 2001, they did recommend that it be annexed and zoned to R20 and limited to one lot, and that recommendation did go to council and get approved. With that, on this, they did recommend approval of this for annexation and rezoning to the R20 with a maximum of 3 lots. I believe the applicant was fine with that. In speaking with our city planner, he had noted that the applicant was going to be unable to be here this evening. I believe his wife is here if you had any questions. But the Planning Commission did recommend approval of the annexation and zoning with a condition on the zoning for a maximum of 3 lots on this 9.7 acres.
Okay. Very good. Any questions for Mr. Menino at this point?
Are there any plans to subdivide?
Based on the testimony during the Planning Commission meeting, the applicant, there is an existing home on the property that they're hoping will remain on there, and they are considering 2 additional lots for a total of 3.
Very good. Any other questions for Randy at this point? Thank you. And I will open up a public hearing for the zoning portion of this request, 19-02. Anybody wishing to step forward, speak for or against, may do so at this time. And seeing none, I'll close the public hearing for the zoning portion of the request, and I'll open up a public hearing for the annexation portion of case AZ 19-02. And again, anybody wishing to step forward, speak for or against, may do so at this time. And seeing none, I will close the public hearing for the annexation portion of this request. This is the first reading. We will take this up for final consideration, our first meeting in June. Thank you. We do have, Randy, you have the next item, alcohol ordinance amendment.
Thank you again, Mayor and Council. As you had noted, this is a proposed text amendment to the alcohol ordinance. It takes the section of the ordinance that defines specialty wine shop, and it adds craft beer to that to be specialty wine and craft beer. And it makes those same changes within, it's reflected in the standards with a maximum of 35% alcohol sales for their total sales. And I typically say Alcohol Control Board has heard it a couple of times. They have not moved it forward, but it was placed on council agenda for your consideration.
And I'll speak to that, thank you. Through no fault of staff, and again, I've asked this to be put on the agenda. I spoke with members of the Alcohol Control Board about moving this forward. Jennifer, Ms. Smith, who's here, has been a lot more patient than I would have been with me over the last 2 plus, closer to 3 years in getting something, a decision one way or the other. And when it came to our attention that we were still not progressing through no fault of staff or no fault for really, again, you can put it on me, but I just felt it was time to go ahead and get this before council for council's consideration so she could have an answer one way or another in trying to get her business model together. So again, it wasn't an effort to circumvent the Alcohol Control Board. I think just in the interest of time and trying to right a situation that, something that just is kind of stalled in council and stalled, you know, anytime it's been brought up, there's just always been something where we've gotten sidetracked. And again, I think anytime we're doing business with somebody, we want to make sure we're doing the right thing and doing it in a timely manner. And so this is the best way I saw to rectify how we've, what was now on the table. We're at least moving forward with it. So are there any questions or discussion about this item? This is the first reading. If there is none, we will move forward and take this up for final consideration, our first meeting in June. Mr. Porter, you have the next 3 items, please, sir.
Yes, Mayor and Council. First item is CNP Technologies, our firewall software. It's annual renewal with the Fortinet software. Cost is $15,960 and recommended for your approval.
Any discussion?
Motion to approve. Second.
Sorry, no discussion from me.
Okay, thank you. Would you still like to have that motion?
Yeah.
Thank you. Would you still like to second?
Still second.
Outstanding. All in favor? Aye. Thank you very much. Next item, please.
Yes, sir. It's a GDOT grant supplemental agreement for the airport. This is for the storm drainage system and land acquisition condemnation costs. The initial grant was a little over $1 million. This is a supplemental. We did bid out the storm drainage easement, and there was some additional grubbing. It needs to be on there, clearing and grubbing. We're going to take down the trees and cut them down and get the roots out, basically, to make sure the stumps are gone for future, keep it easier for the maintain going forward. The supplemental agreement amount is $134,470.60 with the local match at $6,723.53. It's recommended for your approval.
Okay, thank you. Questions for Dan on this item? If not, a motion's in order.
I'll make a motion to approve. Second.
All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Last one for you, Dan.
Yes, sir. This is a new grant. There's 2 different grants on here. The first one is avigation easement acquisition for obstruction and removal for runway 1. Total estimated grant is $2,050,000. The local match is $102,500. Second one is the rehabilitation of runway 1 and 19, phase 1. It's a total estimated grant of $2,378,757. The local match of $594,689. Both these are recommended for your approval, and just ask for a recommendation for the mayor and the city clerk to sign all related documents for this grant.
And that 594 is split between the city and the county.
Yes, sir, and the
Perhaps.
airport authority as well will pick up some of that.
Any questions or discussion? If not, a motion.
Motion to approve. I'll second that.
All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Thank you, Mr. Porta. Mr. Archer, you have the next item, please, sir.
Yeah, this is a standard agreement that the city enters into with developers when they're near completion of a project, and this is for the senior home that's being constructed near completion out on Dallas Ferry Road. It provides for the owner of the project to convey the infrastructure, road right-of-ways, and all easements to the city. The agreement provides that they will maintain all that infrastructure for a period of 12 months, end of that 12 months, the city can inspect and tell them if they have any corrections they need to make, and they have a period of time to do that. There is a maintenance bond in the amount of $43,000 that is valid for a period of 18 months. And it needs authority for the mayor and the city clerk to sign it.
Okay. Any questions for David? If not, go ahead.
Just one clarification. So that property is in the county, but we're taking
It is, the water and sewer was the city water and sewer, but the actual project was
okay. Thank you.
The agreement says that they're conveying road right of ways to the city.
Well, they're conveying the easements in the water and sewer system there. It may go out to Dock Ferry.
Okay. Any other questions or discussion? If not, a motion's in order.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Thank you. Ms. Reed, you've got the last two.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. So the first item I have is creation of a festival zone for a DDA-sponsored event on June 8th. We are going to be hosting a local group, the Four Corners, in our downtown plaza, and we are asking for the creation of a festival zone to go along with that event.
Okay. Thank you. Any discussion on this item? If not, a motion.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Last one.
And this item is also a request for creation of a festival zone on behalf of the Bartow County Rotary Club. They are asking to host an event in our downtown plaza to follow up for the Taste of Cartersville as a thank you to their Rotarians, to their sponsors, and to their volunteers.
Very good. Questions, comments, or motions?
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. And there's an event downtown this weekend. Why don't you give us a little bit of a preview of that?
Well, thank you. This is the first in our Music by the Track series, which has been going on for 3 years now. It is held the third Saturday of the month from May through September. This month we're having an opener at 6 o'clock from Daniel Leaving, who is a local act. He won a Battle of the Bands event, and that was his reward, was to open for all of our concerts. And then we have another downtown group, two actually, coming together to play Milky Sway and My Ninja. And I think that'll be great. They are regional rock alternative favorites, is my understanding. So
Festival's
that's
on
how
in
they
place
built
for
it.
this event?
Yes, sir. That's something that you guys approved in our group of events that I brought to you at the end of last year.
Right. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate that. Any other business that needs to come before council this evening? Mr. Gillum, you want to talk about pickleball? You've got a pickleball event coming up June 1st, is it?
Yes.
Okay, very good. Thanks for the explanation there. Any other business that come before council? Evidently not. Chair will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Adjourn. Did not make it a room, but I stay gold.